Abigail. This is my audience, Chantel. And this is my persuasive speech. So, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or the MCU, is one of the most famous film series ever made. The series is split into phases, and they are currently wrapping up Phase 4, which has caused lots of division among the fans as to whether or not Marvel has lost its touch after Endgame. My name is Abigail, and today I will be telling you why I believe Phase 4 to be the best phase in the MCU because of its increased representation of marginalized groups, introduction of new characters, and setup for future phases in the current saga. So it wasn't until Phase 3 that we had a Marvel project that was led by someone other than a white male. Fans who were anything other than white males only saw themselves represented in a handful of side characters. Black Panther from 2018 and Captain Marvel from 2019 were the first MCU projects to have a black or female lead respectively. Of the 17 movies and TV series in Phase 4, 7 of them are led by women, and 7 of them are led by people of color. Fans from the Latinx, Asian, South Asian, Middle Eastern, Native American, and Black communities see themselves represented in Marvel like they never have been before in Phase 4. Collider.com explains that in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Marvel fixed some of their past mistakes in Asian representation, such as casting white or Middle Eastern actors to play characters who are canonically Asian in the comics. In Shang-Chi, they went beyond simple plot changes and actually hired Asian talent and creatives, incorporated Asian language, and depicted significant historical events. This poster, which I have here in my bedroom, is for Miss Marvel, which is my favorite series from Phase 4. It's my favorite because I personally see myself represented in Kamala Khan, the main character, because she's a devoted fan of the Avengers, just like I am. But more importantly, she's the first Pakistani and Muslim superhero in the MCU. Another form of representation present in Phase 4 is that for the LGBT community. In this phase, we have 3 characters who are canonically LGBT. They are Phastos from Eternals, America Chavez from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and Valkyrie from Thor: Love and Thunder. The last important form of representation I want to mention is that of the disabled community. Maya Lopez from Hawkeye and Makkari from Eternals are both deaf and use sign language on screen. Matt Murdock, who appears in She-Hulk Attorney at Law, is blind. This representation is especially important, I think, because it shows fans, especially young disabled fans, that everyone can be superheroes. So, with Avengers Endgame, the final project of Phase 3 of the MCU, the Infinity Saga was concluded. Most of the stories were wrapped up, and some of the major characters' stories ended. Phase 4 is the start of the Multiverse Saga, which will conclude in Phase 6, just as the Infinity Saga did in Phase 3. Because of this, we as fans must adjust our expectations as to what we will see in Phase 4. In Phase 3, we saw final installments of many of our favorite heroes' stories. In Phase 4, we see new beginnings. In Phase 4's 17 movies and TV shows, we have been introduced to a new generation of heroes, begun to learn about the vast concept of the multiverse, and even been introduced to the looming villain of this saga, King the Conqueror. We have met at least 25 new characters who will potentially play a big role throughout the Multiverse Saga. Compared to Phase 1, which introduced only the original 6 Avengers and a few other characters, this is a lot of new information. However, I like to think of it as giving the viewers lots of options. Do you prefer hand-to-hand combat, lawyer shows, high school shows, men who saved the universe who now have to take care of young orphaned girls, Egyptian mythology, classic Hollywood horror films, all 3 Spider-Men in one film? If you answered yes to one of these, there's something for you in Phase 4. Additionally, the whole theory of the multiverse is that there is an infinite number of different universes, some only slightly different and some vastly different from our own. So logically, isn't it going to take a large team of different superheroes with different powers and backgrounds to come together to fight a multiversal threat? In conclusion, Phase 4 is doing something Marvel has never done before. The universe is expanding at an exponential rate, and it is doing so successfully. They are including representation for almost all their fans rather than just a handful of them. They are also expanding their creative universe, introducing new characters and story formulas, which I believe to be exciting and fun. I truly love Marvel and the way it is expanding to give everyone a reason to watch and get to know these characters. To end my speech, I would love to invite you all to go see Wakanda Forever, which comes out next week on November 11th in theaters and is the final installment of Phase 4.